James J. Walker had faced many challenges since discovering his powers, but none had prepared him for the sinister force lurking in the quiet town of Egremont, Mississippi. The town was dominated by a massive grain elevator owned by a man known only as Soja Max. A ruthless farmer and businessman, Max had a reputation for exploiting the townspeople, forcing them into debt, and using intimidation to maintain his grip on the community. But rumors swirled that Max's cruelty ran deeper than anyone realized. Whispers of dark rituals, strange crops, and a hunger for power that went beyond the material. When Jay arrived in Egremont, he found a town paralyzed by fear. The grain elevator loomed over the landscape like a fortress, its silos casting long shadows over the fields. The townspeople were reluctant to speak, but one brave solo young woman named Claire pulled Jay aside and told him the truth. Max wasn't just a tyrant. He was using the grain elevator for something unnatural. Crops grown on his land had begun to wither and die, while Max's fields flourished unnaturally. People who crossed him disappeared, and at night, strange lights could be seen coming from the elevator. Jay knew he had to investigate. Under the cover of darkness, he made his way to the grain elevator, his body crackling with restrained energy. As he approached, he felt a strange, oppressive force in the air, a malevolent energy that seemed to pulse from the very ground. Inside the elevator, he found a scene straight out of a nightmare. Max stood at the center of a massive chamber, surrounded by swirling clouds of grain and dust. His eyes glowed with an unnatural light, and his hands were raised as if conducting some unholy symphony. "James Walker," Max sneered, his voice echoing unnaturally. "I've heard about you, the so-called hero of the Delta. But you're too late. I've harnessed the power of the land itself. This town belongs to me." Jay realized that Max had tapped into some dark ancient force, using it to control the crops and the people of Egremont. The grain elevator wasn't just a storage facility, it was a conduit for his twisted power. Max unleashed a torrent of grain and debris, the particles swirling like a sandstorm as they surged toward Jay. Jay raised his hands, summoning a barrier of lightning to deflect the attack. The two forces collided in a blinding explosion of light and sound. The battle was fierce. Max's control over the land gave him an edge, but Jay's speed and agility kept him one step ahead. He dodged waves of grain and debris, countering with bursts of lightning that lit up the night. But Max was relentless, his power growing with every passing moment. Jay knew he couldn't win through brute force alone, had to cut off Max's connection to the land. Spotting a series of pipes and conduits running through the elevator, Jay realized they were channeling the dark energy Max was using. With a surge of power, he unleashed a concentrated bolt of lightning, severing the pipes and disrupting the flow of energy. Max screamed in rage as his power began to wane, his glowing eyes flickering like dying embers. "You can't stop me," Max roared, his voice trembling with desperation. "I am the land. I am the harvest." "No," Jay replied, his voice steady. "You're just a man who forgot his humanity." With a final, devastating blast of lightning, Jay struck Max down, the dark energy dissipating into the night. The grain elevator fell silent, the oppressive force lifting as if a weight had been removed from the town. Max lay unconscious, his reign of terror finally over. As dawn broke over Egremont, the townspeople emerged from their homes, their faces filled with relief and gratitude. Jay stood among them, his body weary but his spirit unbroken. He had not only defeated a tyrant, but had also freed a community from the grip of fear. Clara approached him, tears in her eyes. "Thank you," she said. "You've given us our town back." Jay smiled softly. "This is your home. I just helped clear the way." As he left Egremont, Jay knew that his journey was far from over. There would always be more battles to fight, more people to protect. But for now, he could take solace in the knowledge that he had made a difference. James J. Walker, the lightning of the Delta, had once again proven that even the darkest forces could be overcome with courage and justice.